Hello, language learners. Welcome to our language learning journey. Today, we're diving into a crucial aspect of English grammar, the simple present tense. We'll be focusing on three key elements: the irregular verb to be, the verb to have, and other regular verbs. So, let's get started. The simple present tense is used to express actions that are habitual, routine, or facts that are generally true. We use it when talking about things that happen regularly, or when stating facts. Let's start by looking at the verb to be. The verb to be is unique in English, and it's crucial to understand its usage in the simple present tense. Let's break it down. I am. You are. He, she, it, is. We are. You are. They are. For example, I am a surfer. She is a teacher. We are students. Please keep in mind that the verb be can be contracted. For example, I'm, your, she, he, its, we're, your, their. Now, let's take a look at another important verb in English, to have. I have. You have. She, he, it has. We have. You have. They have. Here are some examples you can use on your daily conversations. I have a beautiful house. Dr. Robert has a practice downtown. My daughter has an appointment tomorrow morning. Now that we've covered to be and to have, let's move on to other regular verbs. Regular verbs follow a pattern when conjugated in the simple present tense. For most verbs, you simply add an s or to the base form for the third person singular. He, she, it. However, they remain unchanged with the rest. For instance, let's use the verb to work. I work. You work. She, he, it works. We work. You work. They work. Here are some examples. We work on Burlington English every day. The instructor lives in West Palm Beach. My car runs smoothly. Now if the verb ends in s, zz, sh, ch, x, o, we add es to the verb. For example, my friend fishes in the lake every Sunday. The little girl kisses her parents every time she goes to bed. In addition, if the verb ends in a consonant followed by y, change y into I, and then add es. For instance, Christian carries his bag to school every morning. My boyfriend flies to Costa Rica this weekend. In this case, carry becomes carries and fly becomes flies. We have covered so far the simple present tense in its affirmative form, but what happens with the negative sentence when we need to indicate that some action is not happening, something no longer exists, or that a subject does not possess a particular quality? Let's break down negative statements in the simple present tense for both the verb to be and regular verbs. When using the verb to be in the simple present tense, we create negative statements by adding not after the respective form of to be. Check out the following examples. I am not a doctor. You are not late. He is not at home. She is not happy. It is not a serious situation. We are not busy. You are not in the classroom. They are not my friends. In short, to create a negative statement, simply place not after the form of to be that corresponds to the subject. For regular verbs in the simple present tense, we use do not or don't, and does not or doesn't, before the base form of the verb. Check out the following examples. I do not like coffee. You don't speak Spanish. He doesn't play the guitar. She does not work on weekends. It does not rain much in this area. We do not have any plans. You do not understand the assignment. They do not live here anymore. In informal language, we often use contractions like don't and doesn't to make the negative statements more concise. To summarize, in negative statements, we add not after the verb to be, or use do not or don't, and does not or doesn't, before the base form of regular verbs in the simple present tense. To reinforce what we've learned, let's do a few practice exercises. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb to be. I, a student. The correct answer is I am a student. Javier and Claire, our neighbors. The correct answer is Javier and Claire are our neighbors. Catalina, a talented artist. The correct answer is Catalina is a talented artist. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb to have. The Camaro, a powerful engine. The correct answer is The Camaro has a powerful engine. The students. Virtual classes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The correct answer is, the students have virtual classes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. My friend. A lovely house upon the hills. The correct answer is, my friend has a lovely house upon the hills. Now, let's move on to regular verbs. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the given verb. He usually. To swim. In the morning. The correct answer is, he usually swims in the morning. The cat always. To sleep. On the sofa. The correct answer is, the cat always sleeps on the sofa. Anthony. To fix. My computer every time it. Break. The correct answer is, Anthony fixes my computer every time it breaks. Finally, let's practice how to form negative sentences. Turn the sentences into negative statements by using the appropriate negative form, either am not, is not, are not, do not, or does not. I. A doctor. They. At the park. She. Likes spicy food. We. Interested in that movie. You. My best friend. It. Rain much in this desert. He. Have a car. We. Understand the instructions. I'm not a doctor. They are not at the park. She doesn't like spicy food. We aren't interested in that movie. You aren't my best friend. It doesn't rain much in this desert. He doesn't have a car. We don't understand the instructions. Great job, language learners! Understanding the simple present tense is a key step in mastering English grammar. Practice regularly, and soon you'll be using it effortlessly. If you have any questions or want more tutorials, leave them in the comments below. Happy learning!